Hey everybody, Derek here to bring another video for Z Nation Season 3. And what this video is going to be doing is giving my character death predictions for which characters I think may die in the third season of Z Nation. If you are not caught up with Z Nation and you do not want to be spoiled in any way, this video will be talking about past deaths that have happened on the show. So if you don't want to know, exit now or you will be spoiled. Okay. Well, since last week's episode was based on a flashback, so we knew that nobody in our group was going to die, I thought it would be more appropriate to do this video whenever the season was going to pick up from the current timeline, which is on Friday's episode coming up. And, you know, looking back at Z Nation over the last two seasons, we have seen that the show definitely has had its fair share of violence, gore, and death, as it does humor and comedy, because it is kind of like a dark comedy slash horror slash action. It has all of that combined in there, but it does, of course, have its fair share of deaths on the show. And if you look over the last two seasons, we have lost four main characters, that being Hammond, Garnett, Mac, and Cassandra. So we have lost characters in the past, and I think that, you know, when you look back and you come to the point that you are now in the show, you see that, you know, maybe some of those reasons could have been for shock value, especially Hammond and Garnett killing off, you know, people that we might think would be the two leaders on the show, you know, the lead characters that would lead the group to California. You know, maybe that was more for shock value, plus to get people into the positions that they are in, like Warren. And then when you look at Mac and Addie, I think Mac was in a sense to maybe kind of close a chapter with Addie, and hopefully soon they'll start a new storyline with her. And Cassandra, I think that maybe they realized that there wasn't anything that they could do with her now that she'd become half zombie, half human. And I think it was also to keep a little bit more secrets about about the blends, about what Murphy can do. It might be a little bit of all of that. But I think that really, when it comes down to it, we're getting to a point in the show where many characters are starting to become more important or more essential. So maybe the death predictions might be becoming a little bit easier. On the other hand, maybe they might be becoming a little harder because maybe they don't know who to kill. And I think that Z Nation is still based on this premise that any character can go at any time, and I really do believe that. I think that they could kill any one of these characters off, but I think that there would be consequences if they did, you know, kill a certain character versus another one. It's kind of like how Walking Dead is. If you kill Rick or Daryl, I mean, you are pretty much killing off quite a bit of the show. So, looking at the characters that we have left in Season 3, the main characters, you know, I kind of categorize them into ones that I think are the safest and then ones that I think are at risk and why. And there's four characters right now that I feel are really essential to the show, and if they would kill them off, I think it would be a big mistake for them to do that. And I think that there's certain things about the show that keep them safe, but nonetheless, I still think that there might be a chance, either in this season or further down the road, that maybe they might. And the four characters that I think are the safest are Warren, 10K, Doc, and Murphy. Warren, I think, is really the true leader. I mean, I really think that when they killed off Hammond and Garnett, you know, making her the leader, making her the strongest, I think she is really essential in that position. I don't think the group could get as far without her. I think she's an amazing character. I think she needs to be alive so that her and Murphy can have this kind of antagonistic plus, you know, supporting friendship, alliance, this distrust. I mean, all of that really centers a lot around Warren and Murphy. I love those scenes on the show when the two of them are together having talks. I think that's essential, and I think that her character really is very important to the show. And I think if they would kill her off, it would really, really hurt the show. I mean, again, it could happen. They could maybe be looking for a new leader. Maybe that's how they're going to get Vasquez back to the group. I'm not sure. But I really, really doubt they would kill her off. So I think she's safe at least for season 3. 10,000, yeah, sure, we left off with a cliffhanger wondering if he was alive or not. He was in the submarine. He wasn't seen in Murphy's boat that was leaving. But I think that 10,000 is just so essential because they've made the 10,000 kills a very important part of the show. And it would kind of be a little pathetic for the show to get to like 7,000 kills and then all of a sudden 10,000 dies. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it's so important to the plot. It's something that every episode we see 10,000 getting closer and closer, incorporating the count, you know, him making these interesting, unique zombie kills. They're not going to kill him off before he gets to 10,000. It's just not going to happen. So I think, yes, he did survive the submarine blowing up. I think we are going to see him again. Has he changed a little bit? You know, are things going to be different? Maybe so. But I still think he's going to survive. And I don't think he's going to reach 10,000 kills in season 3. He might, you know, it just depends on the circumstances. But I think it's going to be a little while. And I think that he's going to be safe for season 3. Doc, I think, is very important in the sense that he really is the comic relief and the heart of the show. You know, unlike on The Walking Dead, where the moral compass, in a sense, actually dies, it seems like, in every season, what you see with Doc is, yeah, I would kind of label him as a moral compass, but he can, you know, do what he needs to do to survive. And not only that, but he really is the comic relief of the show. He is that guy with that special ability of being able to start the comedy, say his phrases, you know, all of the, maybe the drug references that he makes, a lot of different zombie kills, the way that he is. I think that he really is a very important part of the show. And I think that they might kill him off if they wanted to take the show to a darker tone, you know, if they wanted to change Z Nation and make it a little darker, make it more about the horror, make it more about the violence, the devastation of the zombie apocalypse, then yeah, maybe that would be a good option. But I really don't know if I would feel the same way about Z Nation without Doc. I think at this point, they need him a little longer. I think he really is important. I think he really is one of the big faces of Z Nation. I really hope he is safe. I feel that he will be safe in season 3 if they want to continue this comic relief storyline. But again, you know, with Z Nation, you never know. I think there is a slight chance that out of the characters that of the 4, I think he would be the one more likely to be killed off. But I think for now, in season 3, I think he's safe. But we'll see. Z Nation is unpredictable, that is for sure. And the 4th character, again, I feel is Murphy. I do know that Keith Allen was having some contract disputes with Z Nation. I think they are settled. And I think that Murphy, again, he's just so important in the sense of the cure, a lot of the stories. He's really that person that facilitates with the zombies, you know, interacts with them. We learn a lot from him. He's a very interesting character. Keith Allen is a wonderful actor. And I think more likely than not, he is going to be around at least for another season or 2. I could see a situation where, though, maybe they might kill him off if his daughter Lucy becomes more important to the plot. Maybe she might become more of the focus of that. So now that you do have the daughter, you do have to wonder if Murphy would make the ultimate sacrifice for his daughter, since his daughter is going to be part of the plot. Plus, the other thing, too, is Murphy going to really become more like a villain this season, making the blends, maybe killing people and making them into blends against their will? You know, is that going to happen? Or is he really actually trying to be a savior of the human race, but just going about it the wrong way? I think that's going to make a lot of difference as to what his character path will be in season 3 and what his plan is at the end of the show. Because is the group going to be able to convince him not to kill people and make them into blends? Or are they going to have to put him down to prevent this? You know, is he just misunderstanding things, or is he really passionate about his plan, and will he be a villain? Hard to say, but I definitely think that more likely than not, Murphy is safe, but I think that season 3 will really make a lot of statement as to what his character will be doing and what his future will be. Now, obviously, that leaves us with Addie, Citizen Z, and Vasquez and Escorpion, our new characters from Season 2. Addie, I feel, is the safest out of them, but I really want to see them start to do more of a story with her. I've kind of been disappointed with the way the show has been dealing with her since Mac's death in Season 2. I feel like that there's more to the character. Season 1 really laid out this great arc for her about her struggling with her past, having, a little bit of PTSD issues, her having flashbacks to her mother and brother, her relationship with Mac. And then after Mac died, they didn't really deal with it. And I think that was part of the story. I mean, Addie really becoming a lot stronger of a character, breaking away from those attachments in order to survive. But I kind of want to see a little bit more out of her. And I really hope that Season 3 gives her more of a story, gives her more of something to do, rather than just being Warren's, second in command, being the tough person, being the one that always, is there for her, because she really didn't have that much development, in my opinion, in Season 2, so I'm hoping they're saving her for something. But if she really doesn't get anything soon, I do worry that out of all the characters, she might be the one that they might find is more expendable than, again, like Warren, Doc, or Murphy or somebody. So I'm hoping that they have something coming up for her, because I do enjoy her character. I am also kind of hoping that they fix the Z-Whacker, or that she gets some other kind of awesome weapon, because when that broke at the end of Season 2, part of me did wonder if they were foreshadowing something in the future, so I will be interested to see what they do with her. I really hope that she gets some kind of story, though, because I do worry, again, if they don't give her something soon, then I really don't see a reason to keep her around, but I think they do, and I do like her character, so I think more likely than not she will be around, but they need to give her a story, in my opinion. But Citizen Z, unfortunately, as much as I love DJ Qualls as an actor, and as much as I've actually looking back and seeing how they balanced out the character in Season 2, I found him to be a lot more enjoyable in Season 2. But can he really serve a purpose in Season 3? I think he can, but it may be signaling the end of his character, because as we know, Citizen Z was really that character that helped guide the group along. So I can see why you would keep him alive at this point, but I do worry that with Northern Lights being destroyed, if they're going to have a storyline for Citizen Z, and I do think that they will have something, but it might be leading towards his death. You do have to wonder with this, appearing to be some kind of a war with Zona, maybe the Chinese, a lot of people trying to get to Murphy, that maybe Citizen Z, if they eliminate him from everything, then maybe it might make it harder for the group to track Murphy, to be able to, find people to help the group. So it may be that they would kill Citizen Z off to make things harder for the group, because I wouldn't doubt that Citizen Z would somehow try to find another outpost, find something else so that he can get in touch with the group. Maybe he might even be traveling with the group. I think that would be very great if they would do that. And also, that would give Addie some story. I mean, you kind of saw a little Citizen Z, Addie, I don't know if there would be a sincere relationship, but I think those two should meet up. And see what would happen. But I do get concerned that with Northern Lights going, and at the rate that they might need to kill a character off, that because Citizen Z may not have those resources, it may be that he is the one that is more likely to get killed off in order to get that shock impact, because he is from the first season. And again, because he just doesn't have that same purpose. And I do wonder what they are going to do with him in Season 3. If they give him a good story, keep him around. I mean, I'm not saying I want to see him die. I don't want to see any of these characters die. But I think when you look at who's more important, who serves certain purposes, Citizen Z's has really been destroyed at this point. So they either need to give him something new, or I think he is going to be one of those characters that does die in Season 2. Then when you get to Vasquez and Escorpion, part of me wonders if in this season, one or the other will die. Because, as you know, Vasquez and Escorpion have a very terrible history together. Escorpion killed Vasquez's wife and daughter. And, as we saw, Vasquez found that out, thought that he killed Escorpion, in Adios Muchachos, he thought he had avenged his family and then found out that a scorpion survived, and then he couldn't bring himself to kill him in cold blood, and a scorpion had really become a changed person, as we know. And he left the group. As we know, Vasquez is out there somewhere. I think he will have some kind of a story, but again, what's going to happen when he finds out that a scorpion is traveling with the group, because it does appear that's going to be happening, and I think that the group is going to find him very helpful and very resourceful. So is it going to come down to, look, it's either me or him? You know, is Vasquez going to have that kind of attitude? I think a scorpion would rather forgive and want to maybe incorporate Vasquez, but whether Vasquez could do that, I'm not sure. Again, I think they would really have to set up some great storyline for them to even convince me that that is possible. I mean, you're going to travel with the guy who killed your wife and daughter. I don't see that happening. But I think that either Vasquez or a scorpion could die in Season 3 in order to incorporate the other one into a more important storyline. Or they're just going to separate them and Vasquez is going to have his different storyline. I could see that happening too. Because we, of course, know that Vasquez is also a bounty hunter. So is Zona going to recruit him? Is somebody else going to recruit him? Is he going to be doing something else? That's possible, but I could see a scorpion also being the one that would die in Season 3, because one of the themes of his character is he doesn't die. He always survives. He's that tough. Well, the fact is that luck usually does run out for people. And I think that when they set that up, it might be foretelling in the future that, well, now that you're a changed person, now that you want to lead a different life, you know, would he sacrifice himself in order to save Vasquez, in order to save the group? I think that's possible as the ultimate act of redemption for everything he's done in the past. I could see that happening to him, and that would allow Vasquez to come back to the group, and they would continue the story. We'll see, but I think at this point, Citizen Z and either Vasquez or Scorpion, I think, are the characters that are more likely to die in Season 3 than any others. But Z Nation's unpredictable, and we will just have to wait and see what they have in store for us. I cannot wait to see how these stories pick up in Friday's episode and to see where we're going with the show. So with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I want to thank all of you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to leave them. Feel free to subscribe. I do have more videos coming. And if you have any suggestions for future videos that you would like to see, don't be afraid to suggest them. Have a very wonderful evening, and thank you all very much for watching.